Welcome to the Pub List. This is James.
I'm Adam.
And boy, oh boy, we got some things today to talk about. I finally got my wish. I got an answer. It wasn't the exact answer I really wanted, but at least it's an answer. And we're going to get to that. We'll do that right now. Manny Machado was signed.
Yeah.
He was signed by the San Diego Padres. 10 years, $300 million. And that's without incentives. Kenny Williams. What do you think about this? What is this going to change the NL West? What's going to happen?
Not really, because the Padres were still a couple players away. I think this is more going to be like Trout on the Angels, where you have a superstar.
Well, they
player.
have a really, really deep triplet. They got, the minor leagues. They got a great farm system. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They have a really, really deep farm system. They got some pitchers coming up in the next 2 years or so. They got some bats. 2
years.
But he signed for 10 years, man.
Yeah, and you also
Padres, man.
Well, yeah, but you also don't know, number one, when his decline is going to start, and you also, which is why I'm 26. He's the same as
Harper. 26. 26. He's got alright, with baseball players, decline usually is like 33, 34 years old. That means he's got 7 years of prime numbers.
And also, the first few years of his prime, what did it really do for Baltimore?
Oh, nothing. But, he was...
Or even if, when he got traded to the Dodgers. Did they end up winning?
No, they did not. They got killed by the Boston Red Sox.
I really wanted him on the Sox because it would have been an interesting story. But the one kind of issue I have with Machado is the same one some of the people on the radio, like the whole paying $300 million for a player who isn't like a high effort, high energy person.
He's not. He doesn't run out ground balls and all that stuff. He doesn't do shit like that. You're right.
He's not even that great of a fielder, especially since he wants to play third now.
He's lazy.
Yeah. And paying $300 million for a player like that as compared to possibly paying $300 million for a player next year like Mike Trout, or this year like Bryce Harper,
right? Who
every game they're going to get, even if they're injured, they're going to give it everything they have and try everything to win the game. Whereas Machado is kind of like, oh, maybe today I'll try.
You're right.
I'll try.
You're right. Manny Machado,
especially the whole trying to break the Brewers first baseman's leg when he stepped on his ankle, going to the one time he did run out of ground ball.
Exactly. The one time that he tried to run out of the ground ball. No, I totally understand. I totally agree, too. And I'm not just trying to be like, I'm a butthurt White Sox fan. I said, if we get him, we get him. If we don't, we don't. It's like, at least we tried. The only thing that I'm kind of like mad / confused is that Kenny Williams was like, I didn't think it was going to get this high. It's like, dude.
But also, why is Kenny Williams the one answering? Isn't Han the GM?
Yes.
So why is Kenny Williams saying anything?
Because Kenny Williams still, pulling the strings
then
at times.
Han should probably find another team where he could actually be in control.
I agree.
Kenny isn't going to ever let anyone...
It's weird. With Kenny Williams, the one, of course, answering and all that shit, and we're going to go after these guys.
That's the same with both wide sort of teams. That's the same with Bulls, where it was Paxson answering everything because he didn't want to let Foreman talk, but that's more because Foreman's a moron, and Han's actually a good GM. Just Kenny Williams won't let anyone take credit or take anything but him.
Yeah. I mean, it's shit. But no, I think San Diego, they won't do much this year. Maybe 75 wins tops, 77 wins tops. That's that. Now,
the thing that will help them is the fact that the Diamondbacks got considerably worse losing Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
But then there's other teams that division.
You got the Rockies, you got the Dodgers, you got the Giants, and that brings to Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper, I say that he could go to 1 to 3 teams. Phillies, Giants, Nationals. Those are the three that I believe that Bryce Harper more than likely will sign.
I don't think Phillies is, once again, that contract's been on the board for like a week or two now, and he doesn't want to accept it. So if he was going to be the Phillies, he would have already signed. Now the Giants offered him like a 5 or 6 year contract, which he didn't want. A short one. He wants 10 years. I think it's going to be the Nationals. I think he's like I told you this today. I think he's waiting out, trying to see if the Cubs will move money, so they can offer him a contract like that. And if they don't, I think he's going to go back to the Nationals. Because that's where he's comfortable. I don't think doesn't seem like most reports that he seems like he'd be comfortable with the Phillies. He said he'd be okay with the Giants, but didn't like the 5-year contract. So I don't know. And I don't know if the Giants will offer him a 10-year contract because, number one, you don't know if the Giants are actually going to be a decent team next year or not, because they had a lot of, like, the past 2 years have been awful for them, especially, and it's really weird because they were always a team that, like, every other year was winning.
Yeah, they had a nice little, run in the early to mid 2010s.
Yeah.
But no, I think the Giants or Phillies are going to come out on top. I think he's looking at the Philadelphia one, saying like, yeah, that's great, but I just want to see a little bit more, and I want to see what other teams can do for me. And I don't think anybody's going to match what Philly is doing. And I think unless the Giants, buck up and be like, all right, we'll give you the 10 years, $300+ million, fine and great, because they do have the money. And San Diego is also a dark horse. They're still working for them. They're down? Okay, they're out.
I still think the Nationals.
You see, yeah.
That's where he's most comfortable. That's where, like, the first $300 million contract offer came from. And this was, like, kind of a discussion that was brought up by, like, the Score the other day, that Boris is really, like, kind of fucking over his clients.
Well, yeah.
Because by not letting them sign extensions with their teams. Because if he did, Arrieta would have got a lot more money from the Cubs than he ended up getting from the Phillies.
Yeah.
Harper would have already had the contract line locked up and would have been ready to go in spring training. Bryant would have been extended and had like a $300 million contract too. But Boris wants everyone to go to free agency so he can try to get everyone
the way.
And it's not working anymore.
No, it's not. It's definitely not working this year. But you know what? At least now we have a little bit of excitement within baseball. Spring training is just around the corner. I think it starts this week. Or next week?
Next week.
Next week? Okay.
Yeah, next week.
And then, spring is here, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of.
Maybe. A little something that happened tonight, and actually it brings to springtime, March Madness, college basketball. I know we don't talk a lot about college basketball, but Zion Williams went down with an injury, and we saw what happens when Zion Williams is not on Duke. You get destroyed by the number 8 team in the country, the North Carolina Tar Heels. They got destroyed. And this was supposed to be the Duke killing them, but UNC went into Duke, I believe it was in Duke, and destroyed them. And I just want to ask you, if Zion Williams is out, say for the season, I don't think he will. I don't know if he is or not. I don't know what the detail of the injury is. But if he is out, do you see Duke even making the Sweet 16?
I could see them making the Sweet 16 just because they'll probably still have a favorable spot on the board because of who they are, and that's usually what sets up the spots. It depends on, like, the bracket. Like, if they're in a bracket with North Carolina or with Marquette, they probably won't beat them without Williamson. But if they get, like, a bracket that doesn't have, like, much in it,
like
which they might do, because the people setting it up might be like, oh, well, maybe he can make it back to
the tournament. Maybe for the Elite Eight or the Final Four.
Let's kind of help number one.
I kind of see that. You're probably right about getting a favorable bracket. I think without Zion Williams-Duke is, good, but not good enough to win, of course. And I could actually see them getting upset, in the second round against an 8 or 9 seed. I mean, depending on how bad this injury is, maybe Duke will lose 3-4, games in a row or something like that, and bump down to a number 2 seed. I mean, the way they looked tonight was insane. It was not good. It's alarming. Once again, it is alarming.
But even if they fell to number 2 seed, they'd still probably put them in a
favorable bracket. Maybe like with Tennessee as the number 1 seed in that one, it's like, okay, you guys are just hot in the regular season. That's how I see Tennessee as. Just a hot team in the regular season, and then when it comes March Madness time, they're out by the Elite 8,
So like Marquette, they always randomly win them in Wisconsin. Wisconsin always randomly just find ways into the tournament.
Exactly. Now, I just remembered about something because I was thinking about a douche of the week, and I have a couple. I'm going to do... Okay. I'm going to go with Dorsey. Well, oh my God. First name. Was it John Dorsey? Cleveland Browns GM?
Yeah.
I
think so.
Let me just look. Yeah, John Dorsey. It's John Dorsey. Oh, boy. Get your hard hats on, everybody. There we come. Signing Kareem Hunt. In a league where... Oh, man. Where am I going to go on this path? In a league where you see people like Greg Hardy. What he did, now he's out of the NFL. What he did to his girlfriend or whatever, threw her on the guns and all that shit. Now he's out of the NFL. What you see with... Who's the other guy? Oh my God. What?
Ray Rice?
Oh yeah, sure, Ray Rice. You saw the footage. There was footage of him dragging his fiancée or wife into the fucking place, and he's never seen again. And now John Dorsey signs Kareem Hunt, and the crazy thing is, it's funny as in like irony. I'm stuttering today. Funny of irony because it was in a Cleveland hotel that Kareem Hunt punched or kicked and like shoved aggressively this woman down. It was in Cleveland, and John Dorsey is going to sign him? You're literally saying, we don't give a fuck about our fans. I'm not saying if she was a fan of the Browns or not, but we don't give a fuck about our city. We want the best running back, even though we got Nick Chubb. It's like it doesn't make sense, and it's stupid, and especially I'm going to go there. And even though I'm sort of contradicting myself on this one because I'm not a fan of Colin Kaepernick, but Colin Kaepernick, he never laid a finger on a person. He's just speaking his own mind in his own way. He's, standing up for something that he believes in, and he cannot get signed for the last 2 years. That's a whole different story.
But people have offered him contracts, and he's turned them down because they're not offering him starter money. He thinks he's a starter. The Kaepernick stuff is different. Because, he's making it seem like the whole issue is just him kneeling. That's not the whole issue. Part of the issue is you are a very bad quarterback who had 2 great games against the Bears and the Packers.
But Josh Johnson was starting this year. He hasn't started since 2011.
But still.
So it's like...
But there's a difference. Josh Johnson... You could put him in a system and just be, okay, run these plays. Colin Kaepernick, you have to design a system for him because he can't throw that good. All he does is run.
Because he used to be very good at it. And it just
and why would you sign some random backup quarterback and be like, okay, now I have to change my whole offense just to fit you because now we signed you. The kneeling thing is part of it. But if that was the only case, why is Michael Bennett still in the league? Michael Bennett does it every game.
Eric Reed.
Eric Reed still. He got an extension.
With Carolina.
So he's still in the game. Cam Newton's kneeled a few times. The kneeling isn't the issue. Mm-hmm. The being a terrible player and then making a stand like that, it makes it a lot easier for the team to go, you know, we don't need you. You're like an okay quarterback. You're not good enough for all this.
So RG3 has a job
as a third-string quarterback.
Well, why can't Colin Kaepernick?
Because he wants starter money. He wants $20 million.
Yeah, he's a douche. He's a douche of the week too. Why not? Colin Kaepernick, you're a douche of the week just because you are. But no, I just
and like the Hunt thing, like I don't know.
With John Dorsey,
it's weird.
It's
weird, but it's also I think in his mind he's thinking
I don't like
it's like a 1 year, $1 million contract. If he randomly plays, he plays. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
Right.
If he does play and he's not suspended the whole year, then that improves their offense having Baker Mayfield and Kareem Hunt together. And he basically got him for nothing.
Nick Chubb. So now you got two outstanding
got him for nothing.
running backs.
And if he doesn't play, then all it was $1 million. Oh well.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like it's weird that they signed him, but I was expecting them. I was expecting them or the Bears too.
Yeah, I was expecting the Bears to possibly do it, especially with Matt Nagy. Another thing that I actually read today that kind of grinded my gears a little bit, and I kind of want to do another douche of the week on this one is Kyrie Irving. It's Kyrie Irving. Media or whatever, somebody with their camera phone found Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant talking in the back during the All-Star break, and Kyrie Irving went like two max deals. Hey, you and me, 2 max deals. We go somewhere like New York or I don't even know who else. New York. That's what it's probably going to be, right? And then Kyrie Irving has the fucking balls to come out and be like, "Oh, this isn't fun. You guys don't make the league fun." Shut the fuck up, Kyrie Irving. You're a piece of fucking shit. You suck. You suck on the Boston Celtics. They don't fucking need you. And here you are. Oh, you don't make it fun. You know what's not fun? Having all these all-stars and all these motherfuckers on the same goddamn team. Why don't you guys fucking grow a fucking pair and be on different fucking teams and try to beat one another instead of everybody just joining up because this is how it is. We're all a bunch of little bitches. Fuck you, Kyrie Irving.
But I understand why he wants to do it. Because if he doesn't, they're not going to win. Because LeBron's going to randomly assemble his 10 superstars in LA with fucking Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard and whoever the fuck.
Kawhi doesn't want to go to the Lakers.
And then
Kawhi's going to go with the Clippers.
And then, if all these, and you have Oklahoma City with fucking 10, so why shouldn't he?
Well,
if you want to win,
fine, but
that's how you win.
About it. Don't be like, it's not fun because you guys are following me my whole life. You're making fucking multi-millions. This is what you fucking get. You don't want to be a basketball star, then guess what? Fucking deal with people in the fucking camera phones and the media all over up in your business about that shit. Don't fucking... You and Kevin Durant, you guys suck.
I think the reason he was like that was because him and Durant could get in trouble for that. So he had to say that. Because if that's...
It's not tampering.
Yes, it is. If you're saying words...
They could all text each other.
Yeah, but they were talking about it. No, but they were actually talking about it on camera, so they could get in trouble for that. Because technically that's tampering, saying, you and me are going to go to this city because we want to be together. We want to play together. So they could both get in trouble for essentially doing that. So I don't understand why you'd be a little pissed off. Because, that's the whole thing. People are saying, oh, well, you're a celebrity. You should expect that. That doesn't mean you want a fucking camera in your face when you're talking to your friend or you're talking to someone and you're hanging out. You don't want a million fucking cameras oh, well, let's see, oh, you're going to the bathroom? Can I follow you?
Well, guess what? You got caught talking to Kevin Durant. You got caught with your hands in the fucking cookie jar. So now you gotta fucking make your bed and sleep in it.
And he will, and he'll probably go to the Knicks, and or whoever
They
else.
won't make this. They won't make the Super Bowl. They won't make. Well, they won't do that either.
I mean,
they won't make the NBA Finals because if he can't even fucking make the finals with the Boston Celtics, with the team that they have, and yes, I understand about Gordon Hayward, but they at least have the depth on Boston to do it. And actually, it is Kyrie and Gordon Hayward that is fucking up the Celtics. It's because of their lack of chemistry is making the Celtics on the downward.
I'd say it's more Hayward, because when Kyrie plays without him, he actually plays really good. It's when Hayward is in, and he realizes he has to force the ball to Hayward, so Hayward gets his touches, and Hayward gets his points, and Hayward is involved. But when he's not on the floor, they space it out more, they score more, they're better defensively. I think, Kyrie might be... no, he's not going to stay in Boston, because why would he? But I don't know. I mean, that team, even without those two, they'd still be in the same situation. Yeah, they had a crazy run in the playoffs last year, but that wasn't a team that was designed to actually continuously compete and possibly win a championship without at least a star. So, if Kyrie and Hayward weren't there, they'd probably be right around 5th or 6th in the East, because they have some good players in Tatum and Brown, but that's not a team that's going to beat anyone in the playoffs consistently. I think they just shocked a lot of people, kind of even in college basketball, like Loyola last year. No one was expecting them to randomly win, and they went through.
The NBA is so different. It's so top-heavy, and it's very, very tough for upsets to happen. And it's gotten a little bit better in the first round of the playoffs the last couple of years. But like I said, the East is going to be a lot of fun this year. The Eastern Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Playoffs is going to be a lot of fun. Shit. What else? I mean, I'm trying to think. AAF. No. But no. NBA, there's still so much that I do not like about it, but it is the product, even in the regular season, has gotten a lot better, and it's still, what happened?
Hawks tied with their Avalanche for the wild card now.
Blackhawks are tied with the
Avalanche. Tiebreaker over them. As these weeks go on, my pick keeps getting better and better.
But
Patrick Kane just randomly is
winning game winners, and the Blackhawks.
Crawford's about to come back.
Exactly. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. But so I'm a little slap happy right now. So that's what I gotta say about that. WWE. Here we go. Here we're on that fucking road to WrestleMania, my friend. And Elimination Chamber. Let's talk a little bit about the Elimination Chamber. It was overall good. I thought both Elimination Chamber matches were phenomenal. I think
the women's one did a great job getting Nia out of the way right away, so she couldn't hurt anyone.
Yes, it got her out, as quickly as possible. And they still did their damage, fine and great, her and Tamina. But I thought the women's tag team championship was fucking amazing. I told you, Bayley and Sasha. They're setting up Bayley, Sasha versus Lita and Trish. That's what they're doing for WrestleMania, because that's what they want. They'll be back.
Maybe there's also two NXT before they traded Trish. There were two NXT teams that said, "Oh, maybe we come back and we just take those from you." It's
not for WrestleMania.
Dakota Kai and one of these other.
It won't be for WrestleMania. That's not
other WrestleMania. And then Kairi Sane and Io Shirai.
Yeah, but you were right on a prediction too, which I had my scratching my head on. Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Finn Balor won the handicap match.
Yep.
Beat Lio Rush.
Yep.
And then Bobby Lashley beat the fuck out of, well, just one slam to Lio Rush.
Yeah.
And then that was it on that, pretty much out of aggression.
Then on Raw, you got Finn Balor and Ricochet.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, it's interesting because I thought, here's my thinking on it. I thought it would have been a really nice story, a great story, unless they have something totally different that they want to do. Well, apparently they do.
Yeah.
But I thought it would have been a great story if Bobby Lashley won that match in the handicap. Finn Balor or somebody saying, sticking out for Balor, saying, hey, that was unfair. It was a handicap match. And then say at Fastlane, you get Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor with Lio Rush fucking over Finn Balor, so Bobby Lashley wins again. And then Finn Balor gets another title shot, and it's at WrestleMania. And then he comes out as Demon King, kicks the shit out of Bobby Lashley, wins his first Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. I think that would have been a lot better.
But the same thing for the women's titles. It would have been better for Bayley and Sasha if they would have won them at WrestleMania. Because winning them at Elimination Chamber, just like, oh, you won. That's nice. And then even on Raw, like they tried doing the promo, and everyone's like, that's okay. That's cool. Nice. But if they would have done it at WrestleMania,
it would have been a lot better. Yeah, it would have been really, really huge on that. Ronda Rousey beating the fuck out of Ruby Riott, and then Stone Cold Becky Lynch. Yeah. That's my nickname to her now. It's Stone Cold Becky Lynch because she wobbles into the fucking ring and beats the holy fuck out of both Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. I loved it.
That was awesome. I also like the fact that something that not a lot of people noticed. Because at the pay-per-view, Ronda was dressed as Sonya Blade. Did you notice what Becky came out in? As Scorpion. With all the yellow down the arms and side and all black.
No fucking way. So Ronda was like Sonya Blade.
She's going to be doing her voice in the next game. And Becky came out with basically the Scorpion colors.
Holy shit! Did not catch that at all. That is amazing. I love it. I fucking love it. That it makes it even better. And Ronda Rousey beats, and Ronda Rousey actually did accidentally. There was a botch. Hit Ronda Rousey in the fucking head with the crutch. It was funny, not really, but at least
legitimately hit Charlotte a few times.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, it was great. Some big welts on their bodies. It was great, great fucking fun. Kofi Kingston, man. Kofi Kingston. He's still doing it, and now everybody is excited.
Yeah, but that's kind of like one of my little douches this week is some WWE fans. The fact that Kofi winning would have been cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have made much sense, but it would have been cool.
Right.
It would have made as much sense as Jinder winning the world title. But
agreed.
But the fact that
now is not the time for shit like this.
But because people finally got what they wanted. Daniel Bryan's back. And Daniel Bryan's world champion.
Yes.
So now people are sick of him as champion. So let's give Kofi Kingston the world title going into WrestleMania. That'll be fun. That'll be better.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be so much better, Yeah, why not? Kofi Kingston.
And it's just because Bryan's a heel now and nobody...
Yeah, that's why. Because nobody likes his character. I love it.
That's funny.
I love it.
I like it. His belt looks a little better. At least better than the Universal title.
Oh, God, yes. Yes. For fuck's sake, of course. The only thing, there was a gripe that I did have in the Elimination Chamber, but I understand why they had to do it, and that was taking Samoa Joe out early.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't like that, but I understand. Well, sort of, I guess. I don't know. I mean, okay. You had to have Samoa Joe get out, of course, before Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, get Jeff Hardy out first.
Yeah.
And then maybe do the Randy Orton. That was a poor RKO.
Mm-hmm.
That was I was thinking more of a cool, like the Seth Rollins getting RKO type shit, where he's literally in the air, and then Randy Orton gets him. It was just more, but this one was just more like, oh, I'm just gonna hold you, and then I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm not a fan. It wasn't that good. Then you get AJ Styles out, and then you get Orton out, and then you have Samoa Joe, Kofi, and Daniel Bryan as the last three.
Yeah,
but
that would have been nice.
Whatever.
Like, the one thing, I was, like, kind of expecting more out of that match. Number one, I was expecting some kind of interference just because that randomly happens in Elimination Chambers.
Yeah.
And, like, the Kofi stuff, like, yeah, it's cool, because he's kind of taking, because I guarantee if Ali was still, and he probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah,
and
he would have been the last one.
Him at Fastlane too. But
I don't know about that, because the rumors that I was reading up on a week or two ago was that Fastlane was going to be Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe in a triple threat match. But because of what happened with Kofi, with Mustafa Ali that brought Kofi Kingston in, and now that the fans just erupted with Kofi Kingston, Vince McMahon listened. And he listened well. So he's like, you know what? This is the cash cow we got to go on. Even if Kofi Kingston is going to lose at Fastlane, which he will, more than likely, you're getting your shot. Everybody's getting their match. Everybody wanted Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan. You're going to get it at Fastlane, and that's it. That's the climax. And I don't think it would have been Mustafa, because I don't think Mustafa would have gotten over as much as Kofi, because
if he would have lasted that long in the chamber, he would have. If he would have lasted to the final two, and knowing him, he probably would have done a crazy 450 off the top of the chamber. So if he would have been in and done stuff like that, he'd probably get people behind him like Kofi does. Like, Kofi just has people behind him now because it was a surprise.
Well, exactly. But everybody loves New Day, and that's his
I was actually expecting them to turn on him. Like, when they were sitting on the stairs, and like you just kind of for a second just like Biggie and then Xavier were looking at each other, I was like, they're gonna fuck him up.
They're gonna fuck him up. That might happen at Fastlane. No. I don't think it will, but it might. It's a possibility on that one. But no, I honestly think, and you know what? When is Mustafa going to come back?
I don't know.
But
he's got a pretty bad concussion. So
shit. Well, you know what they usually do to people that are supposed to get pushed and get injured.
Yep.
You never hear of them again.
Yep.
They get thrown into the box of misfit toys.
That's kind of like I want to talk about with like at least with Bryan. Is the rumors of who he's gonna face at WrestleMania?
Yes,
is one of three. It's been narrowed down to one of three people. They're Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, or Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Zayn would be an interesting choice.
That would almost be like a Mustafa Ali, Kofi Kingston.
Well, not just that, but Zayn.
In a way,
like Zayn is. It'll be hard to tell that story because Zayn is very similar to Daniel Bryan because he's like vegan too. He does all this stuff too.
Yeah.
So it'd be a little hard to tell that story, but it'll be an amazing match. Owens, it'll be very easy to tell that story because Bryan's all pro planet, all vegan, know me everything. Kevin Owens doesn't give a shit. Kevin Owens is
just a guy, just a bro.
Yeah,
and all these funny little like promos of him with his camera phone and all that shit. He's just like, hey, I'm just eating a hot dog.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like plays into the Bryan.
Exactly.
But then
they're doing it right.
The third option, which would be Bray Wyatt.
You just want Bray Wyatt to get in there, but I do too. But I don't understand.
But that would be the most kind of a more interesting story because you could have Bryan saying the whole, he's saving the planet, and then Bray could just come out and be like, none of you need to worry about your planet. You need to worry about your souls.
It'll be great. It'll be great. It's like, what? We should just have like a unofficial segment every fucking week of where is Bray Wyatt?
Well, right now he's filming a movie, so.
Oh, well then
he'll probably be back.
Where the fuck is Bray Wyatt? That's going to be our new unofficial segment.
He'll probably be back by SummerSlam, but right now he's filming a movie. And with the Miz.
Yeah. Well, The Miz still does his shit when
Yeah, but Miz also doesn't do live events or anything else. He just does the one show a week kind of, and right now there's no real spot for Bray, so they figured just let him film his stuff, and then when he's done, we'll push him back.
So, I was going to talk more about SmackDown, but you know what? We're going to save that because something even bigger is happening, and that was Monday Night Raw was a nice, pleasant surprise.
The crowd killed it.
Except that the crowd killed it. But we got Ciampa, Gargano,
Black.
Ricochet, and Black. Aleister Black. I loved it. And you know what? I even read up on, I think it was WrestlingNews.com, that you know who pulled the trigger on this whole thing? Vince McMahon himself. He did it without telling Triple H. Before, like, it was probably that Sunday night, he was like, Triple H, I gotta tell you something. I'm taking your 4 best guys on NXT and I'm bringing them to Monday Night Raw for like a week. Okay, cool. Let's do it.
The weird thing is, though, for as great as those 4 are, they're really not the best ones in NXT. Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, and Velveteen Dream are all just as good.
But these guys are the most popular, they're the ones that stand out because they've been there, except Ricochet, they've been there the longest almost, until they're called up.
But it was cool that they were
called
up.
Interesting.
But, like I said, the crowd completely fucking killed it.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
And I was telling you, I was kind of put that on the Raw Facebook page. I was like, it was great, but the crowd seemed to completely destroy any momentum. Then one of the guys who was there was a comment I was at that show, and I gotta tell you, if you want people to cheer, you have to give them something to cheer about. And I was like, so seeing someone do a 630, which shouldn't be humanly possible, is that something to cheer about? I was like,
sounds like this guy just wants Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania for the Universal title. That's what it sounds like. Jesus Christ. But, no, I thought it was amazing. And I hear
they were good on SmackDown, too.
They were amazing on SmackDown, too. And what I read...
DIY beat both former tag champs.
DIY beat Revival, the tag champs on Raw.
And Bar,
who was former champs. Yeah. So, I got a question with you on these 4, because now, after tonight, spoilers, if you guys haven't seen, Velveteen Dream beat Gargano for the North American title. Yeah. When will these 4 be completely called up? Because now they say that they're going to be using them on Raw and SmackDown and NXT. So, but when is the full call up?
The reason they could do that is because NXT is taped. So it's not like they're working 3
Well, I know that. Yeah, but
I think maybe after WrestleMania, I think Ciampa probably drops the title to Keith Lee or Matt Riddle.
Yep.
At the takeover before Mania. Then they're back. They're full time on Raw.
And I think they'll be DIY.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be healed. Of course, healed
version
DIY.
of them, yeah.
Even though they weren't really heel on SmackDown.
They kind of were.
A little bit.
They kind of acted like they normally did. It's just
a little bit of
the bar was a little bit more
aggression.
Just the bar was a little bit more heel, so it was hard to tell. But I really liked both their matches against the Revival and and against the bar. But
Revival.
The thing about the bar match that was so good was because as I was watching it, I was reading comments online and people was basically saying this is proof that Ciampa and Gargano shouldn't be up because they're too small to compete with people like Sheamus and Cesaro. And I commented, I was like, that really doesn't matter because besides Cesaro, who's amazing, they're better wrestlers than most of the people they're going to be facing, except even if they are a lot bigger than them, they'll be able to take them.
Exactly. So it doesn't even matter. But I'm thinking DIY will be called up fully for SmackDown after WrestleMania.
Actually, I think I know who's going to be the new NXT champ. Adam Cole.
That needs to happen. And then Undisputed Era will completely run.
Back.
Yes. and then they will completely run all of NXT for the next year.
The North American title from Velveteen Dream.
Yep, and then O'Reilly and all of them will have
O'Reilly and Fish get the tag titles back.
I agree. So when do you think Ricochet will be called up?
Fully. I actually think he kind of already was. I think this is.
You think so?
This is him full time now, because number one, he doesn't really have any still out the stories going on in NXT right now. He's just kind of been there to help Black and people fight the Undisputed Era.
Right.
So he doesn't really have any built-in stories that he has to compete with. So I could see him coming as it. Same with the Aleister Black. He doesn't really have anything going on right now. It's going to be Gargano and Ciampa. They're going to have to wait because they both still have their rivalries with Gargano and Velveteen Dream and Ciampa. I think he was rivaling with starting something with Keith Lee.
Okay,
so I can see that going. It's been Ciampa has to lose the title before he gets called up, anyways. So they're going to be a while, but I think Ricochet is already going to be out full time, just because even though for some reason DIY and Aleister didn't get a huge reaction, Ricochet's kind of did when he came in and helped Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think Ricochet will be more of a 205 guy?
No. If he was, he would have debuted on 205.
No, you're right. You're right.
That's kind of one of the things Triple H told him, I heard, where Ricochet's concern about signing with WWE was he didn't want to be stuck in 205 Live. And Triple H kind of said that, maybe you'll do a show or two there, but you're not going to be there. You're going to be
there.
And that the show also might be over soon. They might move the Cruiserweight division to
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hopefully they do. That would be kind of nice. Shit. What else? Oh my God. I got my wish also with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin won at fucking Elimination Chamber. You know, it was very heelish, fine and great, but it's something new. And yes, Strowman destroyed Corbin in a tables match. Cool, fine and great match. And then choking Heyman for a little bit, but this should now go into a Strowman, and he should move on into another rivalry. I don't know who.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's really not much on maybe McIntyre, but it'd still be in the same group of people.
I know. I was thinking Bobby Lashley because I think
if Rollins
group of people, exactly, because if Rollins is healthy enough for Fastlane, I'm hearing it's going to be McIntyre versus Rollins.
Yeah.
You know, just for a match, whatever. But yeah, we're right now in that transition of new storylines coming in. Old ones are hopefully ending. And yeah, we got some excitement. Like Kofi Kingston, I don't know. That's just so fun. I love it. They got a great story going on there, and I hope they end it right. I know I'm going all over the place right now. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is Dean Ambrose.
Mm-hmm.
I am just thinking more and more and more that this
is a work.
Yes,
it is, and I think the payoff of the work is going to be WrestleMania and the Shield are going to be Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
The Shield's going to help Seth Rollins win the Universal title.
And you think Roman Reigns will be there? Maybe come out of nowhere. Yeah. Referee is down, Lesnar is down, Rollins is down, Ambrose is down.
The Shield music just comes out, and Ambrose and Reigns are just standing in the ring, and they triple powerbomb him. And Seth does a curb stomp, and
1, 2, 3, and Rollins wins. And it'll probably be a one-off, because I've read that Roman Reigns is not ready to return yet. It's going to be sooner than later, not that soon. Maybe sometime this year, in December or November or whatever. It's going to probably be this year. Hopefully it gets better. I think
it could be that though, because if you think about he's in bad shape because of the cancer, but really, if all he's gonna do is run out, hold the guy off, it's not gonna be that asking that.
No,
be that strong. It's not gonna be like, oh, you're back. Have a match with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, okay. Hey, you're back. Well, guess what? Backlash, you got Brock Lesnar. What? Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. No, there's a lot of good storylines going on. I'm excited. I think I know that you have your douche of the week.
Well, it's a kind of a co-douche.
It's all right, mine. A couple
Chris Jericho and the AEW fans. Okay, first the fans, because like when Triple H posted a picture of him and Velveteen Dream with the North American title, like a bunch of AEW fans were like, "Oh, AEW is better than NXT," and like everybody was like blasting him, saying like, "How the fuck can you think something that's never had a show, never had a match, doesn't have titles, has an 8-person roster, is anything more than just an expensive T-shirt company at this point? They have no TV deal. They're like literally have nothing right now." And like it was funny because one person actually commented like, "Please tell me one good match, even good match that AEW's had." He's like any Kurt Hawkins versus Random Jobber 18 is better than any match AEW has had at this point. But
it's legit.
And then Chris Jericho, because he like kind of information came out about the contract talks with Vince McMahon and what he wanted in WWE, and he basically told Vince he wanted like Brock Lesnar's contract.
Yeah,
he wanted to work only like once a month maybe and have the exact same money because in his words, he's as big of a draw as Brock Lesnar and he's as big of a star as Brock Lesnar, so he should be able to get paid like that.
Oh man.
If this was like 2005, 2000, like okay, I believe that you're undisputed champ, you were a star, okay, you get that contract. But right now, you are nowhere. Jericho is nowhere near as big of a deal as Brock Lesnar. Like I fucking hate Lesnar, but people will tune into Raw or just to watch him hopefully lose.
Yeah.
And if the main event of, I know it's going to be Ronda versus Becky versus Charlotte, but if the main event was still Brock Lesnar versus Seth, people would be like, okay, like let's see Seth win. Yeah. If the main event was Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho, be like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why is this a match? Like, why? And especially if it was a title match, everyone would just be like, what's happening?
Like, why?
And like, why? And the whole, like, Jericho stuff about like wanting to sign people to AEW, like because of a while, like Goldberg, like Lesnar, like Randy Orton. I think he said Cena too, which Cena will never leave WWE. No. Like I honestly think kind of like what you said earlier today, him going to New Japan like completely fucked him up. Because it made he's always had like an ego. His ego has gotten like so outrageous because they treated him like he was a top guy and now he's basically running a wrestling company which isn't going to end up being good because I could see him giving himself the world title right away.
Yes. Do a Jeff Jarrett thing from TNA
or National.
I'm just a champion. What?
But and like that's the
help out the newer guys, brother.
That was kind of my whole issue too with the first match they announced for their Double or Nothing pay-per-view was Kenny Omega versus Jericho. And I even commented to people, I was like, that's a bad idea. And I was like, well, why? They had 2 great matches in Japan. Why wouldn't you want to see it again? I was like, because Chris Jericho shouldn't be in the main event of this pay-per-view. If this is potentially to set up a champion, you should have fucking Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes, or Kenny Omega versus versus Neville, versus Pac, versus anyone you signed that's a newer, younger guy, instead of, oh, here's 50-year-old Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega for the
third time, but this time for the AEW Heavyweight Championship.
Right, and like I said, I've always liked Jericho. It's just
he's gotten a little egotistical.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been, but I think his like I said earlier, his biggest issue with WWE was them not letting NXT go on his little cruise. So that's why I ended up going to Japan and Ring of Honor.
Yeah, probably got a little butthurt.
Yeah, and because like Vince wanted him to do what was the show after the Greatest Rumble?
Yes.
He wanted him to be on it, but Jericho had a concert like somewhere else in Europe, and Jericho basically told Vince, if you want me to be on the show, I need a private jet to fly me from here to the stadium. And Vince is kind of like I don't need you then.
Yeah, we're good then.
And that's kind of like a saying earlier too. Like Jericho is really lucky that Vince respects him, because if I was Vince and Chris Jericho asked me for a Brock Lesnar contract, I'd just look at him and be like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?"
First ever undisputed champion, that's who.
You're like, yes, years ago you were a big deal. You're 50 years old. You don't draw half what Lesnar does.
Exactly.
And no pay-per-view is going to sell out with you being in the main event.
No, I agree. And now I've been hearing, I don't know if it's not fake, but just wrong rumors or whatnot, articles that I'm reading about Undertaker and Vince McMahon at butting heads. But now I hear Taker is probably going to be at the next India show.
Yeah.
But it's like he's on, he's off, he's on, he's off. He's retired, he's not retired. Him and Vince are, not seeing eye to eye, and then all of a sudden he's probably going to be there.
Him and Vince always kind of do that.
Kind of like
well, it's also because
Taker could do the shit that
Taker could do the shit Jericho's trying to do.
Yeah, because Taker has been there for 20 plus years.
Even if you put even though he's lost twice. Yeah. If you put Taker in the ring event, WrestleMania would be like, okay.
Exactly. even Taker at 60 years old, you'd be like, I'm in.
They just have like Taker and Triple H, you'd be like, all right.
Yeah. Fuck yes, let's go. But if it was Taker and Jericho,
people would be like, let's see Jericho lose.
Exactly.
But and that's the thing too. Like, I think the big issue with Jericho right now is for as good as he was in WWE and as good as he got along with Vince, he never really got along with Triple H and them that great. And I think Triple H being, especially the one in charge of NXT, like if I'm in charge of NXT and I hear Jericho, hey, I'm having a cruise for 3 weeks, that we're going to have wrestling matches on, you want to help me out and send your stars over and have matches? I'd just be like, why would I pay to have them travel when I could just have matches in my arena? They're like less risky, they won't get hurt, they won't get sick, nothing happens to them here. And I think Vince is obviously been listening to Triple H a little bit more recently.
Yep.
I think part of it could have been too with that contract, like maybe even Triple H saying like, look, Jericho's great and all, but there's this person that we could potentially sign in the near future if we want to build up the UK brand, if we want to build up NXT, Raw, or SmackDown. Be like, yeah, he was great, but we need to focus more on younger stars than on Jericho. And I don't know if, I'd like to see AEW succeed just because it would be competition for WWE and that would maybe make them better. But, I'm incredibly skeptical about this whole thing because at their first press conference, they basically said how they already have a TV deal agreed upon, everything's going to happen, and now it's been a month, 2 months later,
and
still no TV, still no actual show set up except for Double or Nothing. I honestly think this is just going to be them doing random shows and then still working for New Japan. I don't think it's going to be an actual federation, an actual anything. I think they're just going to randomly put on shows like they did at the All In stuff and Double or Nothing, and
maybe I don't know. I think they're going to get a weekly. episode, a weekly episode type thing. Is it going to be with like a huge channel?
Turner is the one that they were talking to put it on TBS or TNT,
right?
But and even then, like some people said that they're thinking of either putting it up on Monday or on Wednesday. And
I don't know about that.
Well, Wednesday I would be okay because NXT's on Wednesday, but that's only on the network that's not on a TV station.
Right.
So
so you can watch NXT.
Yeah,
right
watch that too at the same time.
Yeah. But no, you put it up against
Monday,
Raw
or even SmackDown, you're gonna get
your ass whooped on that.
Because
shit,
that's the problem TNA ran into. Because when they were starting to build and starting to be really good, when Jeff Hardy was the champion and he just came in, when Angle was there and Joe and all them, they were really building up. And they were like, I think on Thursday or Friday before SmackDown. Yeah, they were on Thursday when SmackDown was on Tuesday or one of those things. But they were really building up, and then all of a sudden, like Hogan and all of them came in, and they decided like, let's put the show on Mondays and go against Raw. And
that's great.
Then I think ever since then, they haven't had like a steady TV deal. Like they've been on Twitch for a while. They were on Destination America. They were on
you're right.
A couple other stations. I think they're on Fight TV now, which is like decent. And their last few shows have actually been pretty good. But I think Jericho will talk them into going on Monday or going on Tuesday to be against Raw or SmackDown.
That's just a suicide mission.
And if that happens, I think they're going to get slaughtered. Yeah, Raw's ratings have been down the past 2 weeks, but Raw ratings down are like still like 2-3 million people watching.
Right.
Compared to like TNA ratings being down where it's like 300,000 people are watching. And if you legitimately try to go against Raw, like even right now, a lot of the reason people record and watch Raw is just because it's like a habit.
Yeah.
Like it's just in your DVR, so like fuck it, I'll watch. And like bringing a new company and then putting it out at the same time and the same day, where I'm like, well, I'll just watch what I've always been watching.
Yeah, Raw.
And if I want to see this, I'll just watch it on YouTube in a few hours.
Yeah, exactly. And if you like it, then maybe you'll DVR it or not. Fuck it. No, I agree. That's all I got. I'm mind blown. Whatever the fuck. I'm tired as fuck. My name's James.
I'm out.
The Pop List. We'll see you next week.
Flacco still sucks.